All right, so in today's video, we are going to be watching a silver Roadhog. Says they can't climb his tank, they need some advice. This is reworked Roadhog too. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. This is reworked Roadhog. Oh, what a pig pen.
All right, so Pepe your phone.
Nice. Look at that pig pen of limb. Oh, look at that pig pen. Biggie, thanks for the 7 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. 7 months. So, the first thing I will say here is that, I couldn't tell you what was happening there. Just, you know what? Nice shot. Chat knows where I'll go with this a little bit. I feel like you are playing, aggro a little bit. But, like, I also understand that in some ranks, especially silver, you know, we see, I mean, not just silver, like, a lot of ranks we see players play that choke there. But I will say, as you keep climbing ranks, you'll start to see, like, that not played as much up front, but I also understand why. But, like, the way that you play that is you're basically playing all in. You notice how you didn't have a retake after that? It's because, like, when you play that close, you're playing all in. When you play further back, it gives more opportunity for picks. But, at the same time, I also understand in a lot of ranks, you're going to play closer there. So, the best thing you can do there is constantly focus on your positioning, which ended up not being ideal because you just stood in the middle of the open. So there you go. Patience with your hooks. This is silver. Patience with your hooks. Nice job getting the Junkrat, as we like to see. All right, what's the play here? Oh, what a pig pen. Nice hook. Oh, yeah, there we go. So, okay, that Roadhog ult right there, just to point out, is extremely common. And that's called the, I want to use my Roadhog ultimate, so I'm going to use it. But then nobody's there, and then that's what happens. So, my suggestion, and I've learned this more and more the more I've played Roadhog, try to see where they're at first. Otherwise, those are the Roadhog ultimates you have. Oh, so what do you see, buddy? Do you see a chord you're trying to play with? But that's definitely the one thing I'm really noticing there, is like, with that ultimate, you do it, and I used to do this a lot, and I still do it sometimes, but just try not to, I'm sorry, but what just happened? Okay, I need to rewind this very quickly because I have no idea what just happened to that Sombra, but now I need to find out. Oh my. All right, head back to the Roadhog now. Yeah, that was really close, I will say that. They were almost made it there. Oh, nice pig pen. Also, if anybody's watching this right now and going, hey, I'm playing more and more Roadhog now. I'm watching this on YouTube. And I want to know, how do you get value with pig pen? And I'll tell you, I have no idea yet. I'm going to be real with you. That was a great ultimate. I have no idea. I'm still at the point where I'm trying to figure out how pig pen will specifically work a lot of the time. So I use it to slow people and do damage. Where to find that value? I think one strategy is take two strats you can do. One is throw it behind them as they're disengaging, or in general. Or two, try to like body block them in it. So like when they try to escape it, they can't escape. You're having a good time. I saw that happening from a mile away. If you're gonna go for the hook play on Hog, try to play more of the cover, kind of like behind that little like, a little cover area there, like it was like a light or like a, I don't know, like a torch or something like that. You know what I'm talking about though. Hide around there so you can kind of stop the hook. Like right there is what I'm talking about with like your Pigpen. That was good. Like that's all right. That was certainly a half of Overwatch that we just watched. I will say that we certainly just watched a half of Overwatch. That was certainly something. That was a first half, but it's a long game, so clearly other stuff happens in this game. So we'll see. It's funny because like the truth is, when I watch like Road Hog, the way I talk about how you'll play Hog is so different than most tanks because most of the time you're just going in to get the pick, right? Like there's like I see though. By the way, that Pigpen right there. Oh, that was a wall. That's a Junkrat trap. That Pigpen there though, that was, you know, that was good. You threw behind him and it gets value. But when you play Hog though, and you're going against the Hog 1v1, there's two things that you want to try to do. One, I think a lot of people know the classic concept of don't hook first. Now keep in mind, that is situational. When I say don't hook first, don't hook the Hog first. Don't hook the Hog first, okay? Now, that is situational. Keep that in mind. There's gonna be a lot of times where you can absolutely hook the Hog first, but it's all based off of the follow-up there, right? That's usually one of the first steps. That might have changed a little bit now. There might be a little bit more counterplay to it than it used to be. Because he has to hit a hook first. That's true. But what ends up happening is the Hog can counter hook you after, and then the other team can follow up as you hook that, so you kind of can trade easily on it. At the same time, it is situational. That's unlucky there. Nice hook, though. It is situational. Like, I will hook the Hog first many times because I know that my teammates will be able to follow up. Nice ult. Oh, whoa, wait a second. You know, I'm a bit curious here, though. How did you get a sextuple kill on that one? Did I miss something? Mercy res? Oh! Was it that close? But, like, wasn't one of them not even there? Yeah, the Hog wasn't there, right? Nice hook. And keep in mind, when I was talking about the hook part there, that was certainly a play. That was purely talking about a Roadhog 1v1, right? After a certain point, if your teammate's there, you can hook the Hog first easily. It's just in that 1v1. Although, like, you can, like, kind of play that 1v1 a little bit differently. You don't even have to go for the 1v1. You can kind of play around the map. All right. Don't hook with no ammo. It's a good thing, too. Nice hook. Nice play, too. I like that play, by the way. You went for the displacement of the soldier rather than the elim, and you got both, but the displacement makes it so you can guarantee the elim. All right. That was a hook. Listen, sometimes you play Hog and you hit hooks, sometimes you miss hooks. I'll have games where I have 69% hook accuracy and games where I have 40% hook accuracy. It happens. That's a very bold 1v1 by this soldier. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, so good news. If you're playing Hog and they do this, you're going to be in a good spot. That's the first step here. Second step, be careful now because you need to just heal up and back away. Like now. Perfect. Chat? I think some people in the chat here are going to talk about that hook right there, all right? I don't know what it is, but for me, sometimes the hardest hook is the one in a place where it looks like you can't miss the hook. It's in the place where it looks like you're going to hit the hook, but then you just miss. It's like, for some reason, the hardest hook. No, I'm really curious to see what the take a breather buff's going to be now. I'm really curious. Good idea, but you need to let the hook go a little bit further. So what the idea behind that strategy, Chad, is you can actually kind of maneuver where you want the hero to go, but it also has to be timed correctly, so you need to, like, hook, but then also time it. Like, I like the idea, that just takes practice. Yeah, they're buffing Take a Breather, I think, today. Now, keep in mind, when you're watching this replay now, which might be on YouTube a week later, like, Take a Breather might be buffed by now, or it will be buffed by now. We don't know what the buff is yet, because they haven't announced it, but yesterday, Yesterday on Twitter, Alec Dawson mentioned that they're going to be doing a take a breather the buff, and it was their goal was to have the buff out by today or by the weekend, but aiming for today, which would be Thursday. So there will be a. It seems like a buff. Nice hook. Good hooks. That Soldier 76 has been having so much fun. That is a Soldier 76, by the way, who when you hit tab, they're going to say, hey, I have 22,000 damage. What's going on? I need help. When in reality, they're just shooting hog the whole time, have 22,000 damage, and every single time they go to make a play, they get rolled. They'll probably have 8 limbs. What do I think the next mythic skin is going to be? I don't know. Probably one of the heroes that doesn't have one. A buff for who? Roadhog, take a breather is getting a buff. Like the heal. They didn't switch spawns? That's a good strat. Oh! Okay, you're going to have a bit of an easier time now. They went Winston. I will say, this matchup is in your favor now. I'm telling you, that Soldier 76, I don't know the scoreboard, is going to have 22,000 damage, and they're going to be upset that they weren't getting any help. But all that damage is on this Roadhog. How do I know this? Because that's me on Soldier 76. I can... If you need a Soldier 76 with the highest damage output you'll see, I'll give you 25,000 damage combined with 8 limbs. %. You know, it's funny because, like, we do a lot of spectating. We talk about the game a lot. I do my best to, like... But, like, this is one of these situations where Roadhog, to me, is the way that you play tank is just going to be about good positioning, hitting your hooks, and hitting your hooks. Ain't no cooldowns. Is this an ego VOD? Not really. This is Roadhog. Good start. I like your flank this time. By the way, this is an adjustment I like, so I want to point this out. You've spent a lot of your time getting stuck at that choke. I like this adjustment by you. This is a good play. This is what I mean by you don't have to just sit there at that choke and fight that the whole time, right? Which is what's happening with your team now. You can go and make a play like this, especially on Hog. And there's this tendency to keep going down middle the whole time and hoping eventually something will happen. But I don't mind this. Granted, it doesn't seem like it's going as well. But, like, I don't mind this play. There you go. Perfect. See? And a pick patch. Look at that. Woo! Yeah, that Cassidy had a great time. Nice hook. So I do want to talk about that for 1 second. You absolutely get the Mercy there. You have time. And now I don't know what's going to happen in this team fight, but you are going to get that Mercy. Like, you have plenty of time. I see what you were doing, but that Mercy is now valved, right? And you might win this team fight still, but, like... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Good luck. Wait, you have a valve. Wait a second. Wait a second! That Mercy went for a revive. You held that. Oh, Meyer, you got that. Any idea why I'll see ranks play at the chokes? I think it's just because that's where the map goes, right? Like, the concept of high ground and, like, the value you'll get from it may not be as much in time. Like, for example, in a top 500 game, we'll take high ground because we know that someone will drop with the card eventually on our team. We can give them card space. We can give them 3/4 of the point, but we're going to play the map control and use that map control. But, like, you're not going to get that same amount of teamwork or even maybe some of the shots that are being hit. So a lot of the time, I understand why, you know, you end up seeing a lot of just, like, running it down mid, down the choke. Like, that's why I talk about it a little bit where I'm like, I will tell you when I'm in the spectators, I will be like, listen, we in top 500 or, you know, in some ranks, we'll play much further back, but I also understand why in silver here, for example, you're playing more at the choke. I understand it, right? So it can be, I get the reason behind it. As you climb, you'll start to see that change a little bit, and that's why I do talk about the importance of high ground, and I still think it can work well. Also, this other team did exactly what we've talked about, where they start running to the point one by one. It happens all the time. Be careful of that high noon. Nope, that Mercy was not careful of that high noon, but you should be fine. You got pig penned, but... Nice job. You said Reinhardt needs a buff? I can talk about that while we're sitting here watching this overtime game of people running back to the point one by one and they didn't use the interact key and spawn to go back to their old spawn, so now they're going to get staggered out. Or have to use Valk, one of the two. So, Reinhardt does not get a buff usually now because Reinhardt in a lot of ranks has a really high win rate. So anytime they buff Rein to do well in like top 500, first of all, nice hook and nice ult here. This is a really good ult. I also... All right, 1 second, chat. They could have easily touched the point. Obviously, we had to do that there. Who was singing the song right there? That is Zombie Food in the chat. Zombie Food made that a few months ago. Let's see how your defense goes here. Obviously, that's tough. But yeah, Reinhardt's win rate gets really high in a lot of ranks. So that's why you don't see Rein get buffed as much. Because anytime they've buffed Rein, Rein gets nerfed just as quickly. Because, like, Rein just does so well. Because a lot of players know how to play behind a Rein shield and play around that idea, right? You don't have to worry about your positioning because you can kind of rely and play off of that Rein a little bit more. Also, you see what I'm saying there about, like, the hooks? Like, what this Hog right here is doing is a good job of countering that hook. And now you see what happens there. The Hog dies there, and but you almost did too when you hit hook first. So, like, it's like team follow-up. So right now, someone on their team, and honestly, probably the Hog, could benefit from doing the exact same flank that you did. Because you just get stuck in the choke. That ended up being a successful pig pen, to an extent. Oh, nice hook, nice pig pen. Hooks have been getting a lot better since the first part of the game, and honestly, I feel like that can happen with Roadhog, where when you first start playing Hog, you'll like have like these moments that where you don't hit hooks, but the moment you kind of hit a hook, you start to like hit your hooks. That Somber really wanted to go for that. That's the classic right there. Good job falling back for that. That's fine. Granted, your teammate did die there, but that's more your team. Oh, you can try to communicate that to a little bit, like you're backing up off mid. Nice ult. That's a good ult. All right. I'm watching. See, you're playing a little bit further back now, and by the way, chat, I don't mind that. Like your positioning now, I like. This is a little bit better because you have a lot more cover. You can always fall back to the point if you need to. And this is what I mean, like, even that slight adjustment right here, it's working for you. Your Soldier 76 has decided to run into them and go for that play. But I like that, right? Like, I like that positioning. Soldier 76 position in there, not so much. This Somber is really committed to the idea of just running into the... Apparently Mercy is too. I could not tell you what just happened right there. I could not tell you. Do. I think you should be fine. I don't think they can touch. Yeah, that's just a dub. Nice job. Yeah, so only big recommendation I have, your ultimate. One thing I saw with your ultimate is that you sometimes would just ult to ult and not really pay attention to where they were. When you get in those Roadhog 1v1s, you get hooked off the map a few times, you need to like just play around corners and play that 1v1. You stood in the middle of the open. It's just an easy hook. So overall, it was a good hog game. I don't think it was too terrible. Got to see a little bit of the Road Hog rework. I do like the Road Hog rework in some areas of it. Obviously, I think Pigpen still needs to be a bit more kind of tuned. But, yeah, not bad. If you like this video, make sure to the like button, sub to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. If you want to submit your own spectating, if you look in the description below, there should be a bunch of stuff down there that you should follow. But if you join the Discord, that's where you would submit that. We also record these live on stream, so make sure to stop by the stream. That being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.